Hey y'all, thanks for stopping in. 122 subscribers this morning. Howdy, howdy, y'all new ones. Um, today, well, today I'm gonna do. I don't usually do survival kits. I'm not a, especially lately here. I don't do a whole lot of walking in the woods and, um, well, not like out camping type woodland type stuff where I'm gonna need a survival kit. If SHTF something like that, I'm a dead man. Simple as that. If I don't have my cardiac meds and my blood pressure meds and stuff like that, and you can't get more than like a 90-day of those. So yeah, SHTF, it is what it is. I've had a good one. So anyway, I'm doing a small survival kit because the other day I made this up. Huh. Oh. I should have just left it. The stupid handle came off. Anyway, where was I? The other day I made this little clicker fidget toy. It's annoying. It really is for anybody that's not a fidgeter. I mean, if you sit and click a pen at work, you know what that's all about. With that, you know, this would drive the missus crazy, absolutely. But anyway, it's got quite a bit of space down inside of it. I don't know how much that is offhand, but let's see. I got a ruler around here somewhere. Oh, there we go. So that's just under 2 inches, about an inch and 3/4 to the threads, and about an inch, not quite an inch across. Yeah, I'm not going to count. I'm not going to count the little pieces. Uh, anyway, yeah, there's quite a bit of space down there, so I figured let's see what we can do to fill it up. And oh, let's see, where am I at? All right, so I fit all this, which it doesn't look like all that much, but I fit all this in here. So what do we have? Well, I have 4 aspirin, and they're marked as such. I have 8 matches with a striker, and they're in this little. These are both in these little. I don't know that they're waterproof, but they'll give some water protection. What they are is just you take a baggie. I mean, this is pretty basic. Everybody does this kind of stuff. You take a baggie, you cut off the size bag that you need. You stick the baggie into a book like that. You squeeze it shut as much as possible, and then you run a lighter over it. Get back in the bear. Come on, don't give me a hard time. And it seals the baggie. You do a little bit easier than, or try to get a little easier than that. But like I said, it's not rocket surgery. People do it all the time. Um, You might want to use a stronger bag. This is a cheapy plastic bag. So anyway, then I did. This is a strike anywhere match. It's been dipped in wax, and there is about 35 feet or so of 10-pound test fishing line. It's wrapped on here like I used to do crab lines when I was little. It's just wrapped around and then kind of like figure eighted, and you just keep twisting it, and you twist it as you figure eight the line on. The one end where you start is got a little bit of Gorilla Tape down here on the end. This one is another Strike Anywhere that's also been dipped in wax just to protect the head. This is not sewing line or not sewing thread. It's not fishing line. It's a heavy duty upholstery thread for like stitching leather sheaths and stuff like that. It's it's really strong. I don't know what the tested testage is on it. Again, there's about 30 feet of this. I stretched it across my room like 4 times, and I'm figuring I've got a little over 8 feet between me and the other wall. So I don't know. I'm just going rough estimates. I didn't really worry too much about how long it is. So anyway, those fit in here. I have 4 little chunks of hot glue. I got this camera angled down to a way that I can't really see what we're looking at, so I'm hoping you can see that. This is just the end of the larger tube of um, hot glue. I cut it off and cut it into 4 squares, mainly because it fits the best into here when I did it like that. A fishing hook, because I only had the one small one. I could probably fit another 3 or 4 in here. In fact, I know I could. I just don't have them. Cotton balls. I've got 2. I could probably fit another 1 or 2 in here. You roll these up as tightly as you can before you pop them in there. And then they have, as they expand, you get a lot more cotton out of them that way. So, fire starter. A couple of safety pins and regular straight pins because you never know. They're a little magnetized. They can be used for anything. You can tie off a weight to that on your run your fishing line through the hook, through the eyelet, and tie off a weight. Now, for those of you who are saying, how can you go fish? You didn't do a float or a weight. Well, here's the thing. That matchstick will float. And it'll float just as well as most of the little teeny tiny floats that you get in a lot of survival kits. Not to mention, you could use a dried twig. It'll float too. For a weight, well, I have this rubber band. Why a rubber band, you might ask? Well, it has all kinds of uses. You can wrap a stone in it, completely wrap the stone in, a small stone, and then clip it onto the safety pin for a weight. You can slit the band and use it as a wrapping to if you're trying to put a dressing, which these would also work as a impromptu dressing, for a small cut or whatever. Just stop the bleeding, and then you use this as a bandage to secure it in place. Or you can use it to secure a blade. excuse, there we go. Tiny blade to the end of a nut, to the end of a, a small branch that you pick up, um, or to secure some line to the end of a longer branch that you're going to use for a fishing pole. So there's all kinds of other uses. You just have to think on a little bit. I added a small tube of super glue. Again, I think of that more as a first aid supply because I'll tell you what. I don't know if we can see that scar on here. Goes from there to about there. Um, I was I was grinding away on a roll bar for a race car, and I slipped with the grinder, and I came right across there and took that all the way down to the bone. I mean, it was laid wide open. Uh, it hurt. It hurt. But um, took it and grabbed some super glue, squeezed it together as much as possible, put the super glue on it, and then wrapped it up with toilet paper and black tape. And that's the scar that I got. I mean, I never went to the doctors for it. I never went to the emergency room. Shoot, I worked the emergency room. Um, it probably could have been stitched up, but it worked. Uh, so, what the heck? The hospital uses a medical grade super glue. Super glue works. So there's that. I have a couple of nails. They're small nails, but they're nails. They can be driven to into a tree and then bent into a hook to secure a line, or if you get the end hot and drive it into a stick, it'll make a small spear for whatever, spearing little fish or you know um, bugs, or if you can make a small uh, come on, think of the word, think of the word, think of the word. Small bow and arrow. You can tip it with that, and that'll take down a squirrel. On the same line, I have these needles over here. Needles are awful tiny, and I know that I have all kinds of troubles threading them. So I also included a needle threader. These Some of these larger needles would work well as a spear tip or a gigging tip, especially this one. This is an upholstery type needle. It's got a pretty big eye. You know, you stick that into a branch and you go and you gig a frog or something like that. It's going to be it's going to hook him up pretty good. So, um, and if you need to, well, this needle works well with this thicker line. I'm not sure that you could actually get this line through some of these smaller ones. But there's actually room in here that I could add another small stick's worth of sewing thread. So I may end up doing that. This is just the stuff that I kind of threw together quickly. I don't know. I mean, if I count them individually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 pieces in there. If you consolidate them all up, I mean, there's 10 matches, there's 4 aspirin, anyway. But that all fits in there, and there's still actually a little bit of room. So some of this, I guess, would go into an Altoids tin, or a larger Altoids tin. Might even fit. Yeah, that would just fit in that round tin. Um, Smaller ones would fit into a smaller tin. That I don't know. Let's see. That might fit. Well, it does. It'll fit in there on a diagonal. So uh, there we go. Again, I don't carry survival kits per se. Um, this has a this has several different uses to it. I don't know that I'm going to fill this all back up the way it is. I think I may actually do a couple more aspirin and maybe a few small fishing, a small fishing kit or something. Here in Florida, I can go fishing all the time, so you can never really have too much stuff to go fishing. I had that taped. Why is that coming off? I lost my tape. Well, that figures. I just took a small piece of Gorilla Tape, folded the line inside it. Apparently not enough because it pulled back out, I guess, or I lost the tape. So, and then you just wrap it up like that. Well, it worked. It works on the other one. Anyway, I like this wrapping a whole lot better than you get those loops of fishing line. You try to undo that, and it just becomes a bollocksed up mess. It's just a whoa. I gotta break in this new selfie stick. It doesn't bend real easy. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, fishing line. When it gets all coiled up and you try to undo it, it just gets all knotted. Well, this you undo one, you undo the end of it, and it'll just feed itself back and forth as it rolls. It doesn't. It can still get tangled. There's a little bit less chance. So anyway, what do y'all think? Yay, nay, up, down? Leave me a comment. Again, shout out to 122 subscribers out there. I can't believe that. I really can't. I mean, I say that, and then it's like, I was all happy yesterday that like 15 or 20 people had clicked on a video in 2 hours. And then I realized some of these people that I watch had 60,000 views in an hour. But they've got over, 1 million subscribers. So it's all relevant. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I really do. Till I see y'all again. Sláinte y'all. Bye bye.